Hey everybody, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and today on the Typical Manga Review we will be going over Bleach Chapter 636, Sensitive Monster. Tier. And we open up with the whatever this guy's name. I don't forget this guy's name, but I
It's
just
like
know his,
Isn't it like Pesca or something?
I don't know what his name is. He just looks like one of the Heartless from Kingdom Hearts to me.
The sea guy. So he's running right Queen's Stern Rated Sea, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll double check the name while we're going off this. I I went to the character page to double check like a comic got kill character. I forgot to do it for Bleach here.
Yeah, it's like his name starts with P. I forgot. It's like a really really annoying name.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, Kurosuchi and Kenpachi are just looking at this, wondering what the hell that thing is. Like, Kurosuchi's like, some kind of metamorphosis doesn't seem to be suitable for battle, but either way, it's a blood-curdling sight, which, as Kenpachi notes, coming from him is rich. And
Yeah.
in the Peanut Gallery, along with Nemu, we have Yumachika and Madarame.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no,
They're
is that Yumachika or is that Hanataro?
Jimmy Chaka.
Okay, yeah,
Jimmy Chika, yeah.
yeah, Yumachika, because yeah, Hanataro wouldn't talk like that.
Yeah. And you can see like it's the hair too.
I didn't.
And the eyelashes.
Yeah, the eyelash. I was gonna say I didn't see the little peacock things he's got there, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you can tell based on on page 6, the hair kind of goes up a bit, which is like shows it's combed. But anyway, so it's just like, okay, yeah, these guys have been demoted basic commentary. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, seriously, look, what is the point of any of these guys?
Was Nemu ever anything but commentary?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Nemu was always. Well, she actually does help out occasionally, like with some like the more technical stuff, like some of his like contraptions.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like the lieutenants and the other guys are talking on here. It's like they actually note that it's rare for Nemu to voice an opinion that's not her own in situations like this, but she's not worried about any situation right now. It's not like Mayuri's going to be bothered by anything that's happening here that he would need their assistance. And they're pretty much figuring, yeah, the same thing applies to Genpachi.
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather them not be there because I kind of don't want to waste characters on just commentary. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it does serve a purpose on here. I mean, anyway,
yeah.
Kenpachi's arm starts twisting more and more, and he just rips the thing off again with the lots of limbs.
Yeah, it was just seriously. I was just thinking, like, what the hell?
Yeah. Which Kurosuchi notes is like was actually the right thing to do in this case because the thing just kept twisting and twisting.
I also like to note that the problem I have with some of these commentaries, like the ones with having going back to the panels with all the commentators, is that it kind of slows down the fight because then you have to go away from the fight. You know?
Yeah. My favorite instance of that though is still like Sanji versus Absalom and Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
The zombies that are commentating on the fight just crack me up.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Bleach is gonna do the same thing.
No, even if they are technically dead.
They're both technically dead. So yeah, it's this whole hand thing about getting away the I guess the infection, not really like what I'm saying. Yeah, it is infection actually. It reminds me of the fight between Soifon and Baragon, where she had to get her own arm cut off. Because,
okay, I kind of remember that there.
Yeah, because again, but here's the thing though.
I think Hachi had to do the same thing, didn't he?
Who?
Hachi. Hachi.
Yeah, he did. He did. Which also goes back to the limb thing. I mean, I swear to gosh, man, Kubo, stop it with the limbs, jeez. But I will say this though. I mean, I think I noted this too on my Twitter. But I said, look, there doesn't need to be an explanation for every little thing that happened. So he took his arm off. We all know why he took his arm off because it was getting worse.
Yep.
You don't have to spend I don't know like 2 pages on explaining why. Because even Soifon, like I think in the Soifon they didn't explain it, right? She just cut it off because we knew that it was spreading. Like here's the thing.
Very least there, he could at least point out it would have spread if he'd done nothing and then leave it at that.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't necessary. I think we could all see it. We could all tell, like based on context and everything, just the way the fight just went on. I don't think the Soifon one even did that too though. They just kind of cut the arm off and just like okay, move on.
Yeah, it's been a bit long. Been long for me for that, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But anyway, Kurosuchi and Kenpachi are just kind of talking and giving each other backhanded compliments to each other and things like that while they kind of work out what this guy's got going for him.
Yeah.
Kurosuchi suggests keeping his distance, but Kenpachi's like,
nope.
Why do that? I mean, I can't get close. I can't cut him off when I stay out of his range. And Kurosuchi's commenting on this, was like, pipe down. That was just me talking to myself. And charges in.
Okay, I don't understand why Kenpachi just doesn't see how this is not going to like affect him. Like why would he fall for the same situation? You know, like why would he just attack? Wouldn't he just realize that whatever happened to his arm is going to happen to like his entire body at this point? I mean, really?
Well, you have to remember, this is the man whose big strategy for big attacks is hold his weapon with two hands, and that just got taken away from him.
Yeah, but in terms of I know he's not book smart or even really street smart, but I always assume that at least in terms of fight, he can be like a little better than that. You know?
Well, not unless he absolutely has to be, which at this point he doesn't feel he has to be. Because the only time I've ever seen him use real strategies when he fought, what was his name, the blind one?
Tosin?
Tosin, thank you. Yeah, that's the only time and even then he was just like thinking about what others would do in that situation.
Yeah, well, it's just like I don't know, but so as it turns out, what this guy does is well, actually, no, first off, Mayuri paralyzes Kenpachi to prevent his body from being like
further twisted.
Yeah, basically, and it's to like I think it like basically paralyzes nerves, which he basically further explains that this Stern Ritter uses nerves to force force his enemies to manipulate their bodies and do really weird shit with it. And he does it, I think, using his reishi. Like he pumps the reishi into the blood vessels, and he controls the nerves. Although that makes me wonder what the hell C stands for then, you know?
Yeah. True. I mean, like I said, it's like cerebral.
Probably. Do you think this guy just looks like a bunch of nerves squished together? Probably.
I don't know. That might be the intent anyway. There's definitely like a little nerve ending when he like stretches himself out in the bottom left of Phase 18.
And then so Mayuri figures out how to block basically all of his reishi like attacks, so that way the nerve effect doesn't affect. The nerve thing doesn't affect Mayuri.
Actually, it almost seems like he did something back at him. Looking at page 19.
Like yeah. So the Peixe, not Peixe, it's a completely different character. I think his name is Pesha, but whatever.
But yeah, on that note, it was like Pernita.
Pernita. So this guy, Pernita, he starts blowing up, and then we're about to see in the next chapter what he looks like, and that's it.
Yep. Yeah, the thing just starts like he seems to be having a panic attack now that he's actually been attacked, which I imagine for him has to be even more painful than normal if you think about it, because he's literally a bundle of nerves.
Well, supposedly.
Well, even so, like the nerves are his source of his power, so he's probably got to be more sensitive to pain.
Yeah, but I'm assuming he's trained enough to not really, let that affect him, because these are
that, or he's never been hurt enough for it to matter.
Yeah, well, you make a mistake here. The mistake is that this fight's going to end like next chapter. It's not going to end anytime soon.
That's true.
He's obviously got something up his sleeve.
Well, on the upside, at least he's not speaking.
Yeah. Well, that too. Yeah. Cool.
Of course, we have Mayuri there to kind of cover. He's enough for 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, but actually, I think it might be literal. He might literally have something up his sleeve.
Yeah, true.
But yeah,
he has at this point.
So what else did I say about this? Oh yeah, so I just further said the same thing when I said before. I'm like, okay, if you look at this chapter, I think there are literally like 2 slashes in the entire chapter in terms of the action.
Yeah, well, and one of them is Mayuri's, like when he blocks the nerves.
He blocks the nerves, and then Kenpachi slashes him, and then there's a slash that Kenpachi does to himself.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think he does that. I don't even think he does that. He just rips his own arm off.
Oh, he rips it off. Yeah, rips it off. Okay, yeah. So 2 slashes. See, that's
and
the
one
problem
stabbing.
here.
And 1 stabbing.
Oh yeah. Okay. 2 slashes and 1 stab. That's not, to me, that's not enough of a fight for 1 chapter. It's too much dialogue, too much commentary. Just give me the fight. I mean, seriously. We don't need that commentary. We can see it for ourselves. Show, don't tell. But here's the thing. Bleach is actually a weird exception, because what it does is it does both. It shows and it tells. It shows him cutting it off, and then he explains why he cuts it off.
Yeah.
We don't need to have We don't need to have the explanation part. Just
And-
show him cutting it off. We can figure it out ourselves.
And when he cuts the arm off, like we see it's still continuing to twist and twist and twist.
Yeah. That enough already says, hey, if you didn't cut this off, it would have spread throughout his entire body. I think 99% of everyone who reads this chapter, had he not explained what actually was going to happen, we would have made that conclusion. We're like, oh, if you didn't rip it off, then it would have just spread. All right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm stepping outside my boundaries by saying that that's what everyone else would be thinking. So that's 2 chapters that we could have used for like just slash, or at least moving. Just move around a bit, Stop standing in one place and just exchanging 1 or 2 blows. I mean, again, I don't want to go back to this, but I just watched the freaking Luffy versus Lucci fight, and that was like there was I think one episode had like 100 punches, not including the jet Gatling.
Which
So
probably had like 1,000 punches in and of itself.
yeah, I know, and many of them were effective. They weren't just for show. Many of them got Luffy down to the ground really badly, and he was able to. It showed to me that there was a lot of action that satisfied what I wanted. Where it was like, okay, he's clearly fighting for everything he's got, and this is the villain who's extremely powerful and arrogant, who is still dominating, but you can see that he's starting to wear down a bit.
Yep.
But at the same time, you don't know how Luffy's going to get out. How does Luffy win this guy who he's weakening, but ultimately is not really getting the final blow? And let's not even use that fight. I mean, I swear to gosh, Zoro's fight with the random captains did more. I'm getting angry now. All right, let's see anything else I said.
I don't really have much of an opinion on this chapter one way or the other. Like I said, it is a bunch of dialogue. I do like seeing Kenpachi and Kurasuchi together. I mean, they do make a kind of an nice little odd couple right there overall.
Oh, I mean, it actually does serve because they're complete opposites.
Yep.
One's very proactive, one's very reactive, and one's all about the brain, one's about the brawn. And both are very exceptionally powerful because they don't necessarily either Mayuri never falls into the trap of the other opponent because that's how they do it these days using trap cards. Mayuri actually reads that and it's like, okay, no, you're not tricking me. And even though in Kenpachi he does fall into that, he doesn't care and he just brushes it off.
He just tries to power through the trap.
Yeah, but then if you have them together, where he's like, okay, you can power through this one and then you can use your brain for this one. You have a very good combination. I think it's even better than the one they had against Yami, where it was Kenpachi and Byakuya. I think this one's better.
Yeah, because they're both opposites in their own ways, like skill versus brawn, or skill versus power.
And I'm not gonna. I wanted to mention this too. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but there's so many times where they have shocked looks, like surprised faces, every time the other opponent strikes back. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, every time you show me if you have so many panels of surprised faces, the effect of each consecutive one becomes less and less to the point where I don't even think they're surprised anymore. I think that's just a normal thing to make.
That occurs to me. Like, have we ever seen Mayuri do that?
Sometimes, but it's not really common. It's like
not frequent with him.
It's not frequent, and whenever it does, it's kind of like an angry face rather than a surprise face.
Like, oh god, you got this up your sleeve. I expected better.
Or like, dang it, oh well, I'll just achieve my plan.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's not.
Mine was kind of what he did with Sazael, the one Aaron car.
Yeah. See, that's the thing though. Like, the more they do it, the less it kind of like affects me emotionally. So
it's like a boy who cried wolf kind of thing.
It basically is. So it's like I don't even feel that that's the surprise effect, the shock of whatever happens. It doesn't. It's not a shock to me. It's just like, oh, okay, this is just them doing their normal stuff. So maybe when they beat this one Quincy and he suddenly appears and strikes him from the back, and this guy shows him this, oh my god, how do you still alive? I'm just like, I saw this coming, man. And the surprise face, I mean, really?
Yeah.
You didn't see this coming? Come on. It's like, it just makes me bored. That's the thing. It makes it boring. Don't make everything seem too big, because then nothing seems small. I think that's what one guy said too in Weekly Manga Recap, where he's just like, don't make everything too big, because otherwise nothing would seem small.
That's true, or vice versa. Like vice versa probably would work better. Like if you make everything look small, it makes the big things even bigger.
Yeah, just do that. I mean, people do the latter more, and to me, I think that's one of the biggest issues of Bleach. Where I know what a lot of people are gonna say. Please, why are you repeating the same criticism over and over again? Well, if you stopped doing the same mistake over and over again, I would stop repeating my criticism over and over again. Yeah,
I mean, if he's not fixing the incident, you got to at least kind of bring it up again.
Yeah, what I'm saying? Like, it's not that he's doing anything different.
Of course.
It's like he's doing this.
On the flip side, though, I mean, if it's happening all the time, we may as well not mess with it unless he does break it in some way.
Well, yeah, but then that's being very pessimistic, and I don't want to go there. I think that's actually basically a different view between how you kind of take criticism, where because you expect something's bad, you're not going to mention it. I feel that we should take a more neutral stance, where we say, okay, if it's bad, point it out. If it's good, point it out. Because you can. Because then if you're gonna assume everything's bad and normal, whenever it actually does become good, how are you gonna react? Are you gonna make it more than it really is? I feel like by doing that, you kind of reward him for being bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
you say it's okay for him to be bad because that's how he normally is, and whenever he does something that's out of that's okay, then we treat it like it's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, well, I think it just becomes a point where it's like we don't expect any better. So if he does do something moderately good, it's like, oh yay, that's great.
Yeah,
Good
but
for you.
I don't think that's fair when I look at other mangas though, because I try to keep them all very similar standards.
Well, no, because we expect things from them.
Yeah, but I mean, keep in mind also that some people they don't watch all our reviews. They may just watch the latest one. So I kind of do want to emphasize how much I really do want
there you got a point there. So yeah,
yeah.
It's worth bringing it up at least routinely just for that alone, I guess.
But the fact is, if he's gonna keep making the same mistakes, I don't have any problem saying the same criticisms because because otherwise, like if he's gonna change what he does, that's when I'm gonna change my criticism.
Yep.
I think that criticism is supposed to be reactive to what the author does, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So I think that if he's gonna be the first one to keep doing what he's doing, I don't see why I should be changing if he's not.
Yep.
Anyway,
right.
so.
Yeah, like I said, you have a lot more to say about the Bleach chapters than I do, so I think we're good to go at this point. I don't really have much to add. That's probably part of it, really. Anyway, that's been our review now of Bleach chapter 636, Sensitive Monster. And like I said, if you have any opinions on what we discussed here today or anything you want to bring up as well, give it to us in the comments. Give us a like if you like the video, subscribe if you like the show in general, and thanks for tuning in.
Bye!